How's it going, gamers? Welcome back to another episode of the Mario Kart Lands. I've committed a little bit of an oopsie. You know, the kind of oopsie that prevents OBS from figuring out which mic you want to record with, or if you want to record with a mic at all, and if you want to record any audio at all. Yeah, pretty much in a nutshell, I recorded a portion of this episode without realizing that OBS was not picking up any audio. Like, no audio period. So unfortunately, that part is going to have to be completely cut out of this video, because I don't think you just want to watch footage with nothing, like literally nothing, added to it, with like no audio whatsoever. So I'm putting this little section in, but basically what we're going to be doing in this episode is we are going to be doing a ton of terraforming. Probably the most terraforming I've done in Minecraft in a very long time. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be spreading out the grass. Spreading out the grass from our main base area out onto a hill that I have flattened, like, completely. We're going to be spreading it on out there to make more space for our base. And we're also going to be building a wall to define where the base should end, or at least where part of the base should end. I don't think we have enough cobblestone, or my brain has enough power to figure out where this base should end, or where the wilderness should begin, like, all around. Because it's a pretty big base, okay? If you really think about it. And it's going to change too, like we're going to add a whole bunch more stuff into this. The borders are going to change. I would just kind of like a method to separate it from the rest of the world, really. And give it sort of a method of defense, really, if we ever start doing raids on the village. We're going to need a way to protect those villagers and ourselves as well. And I think walls are pretty helpful for doing that. We're of course also going to have some gates as well. But yeah, that's all I've really got to say. Anyways, conveniently right now, you just watched up to the part where I finished filling in the entire pond that's right next to the base. Sorry you couldn't see me doing that. Huge oof right there, I guess, but thank goodness I have a second monitor, because if I had not, this whole episode probably would have been audioless, or at least a massive chunk of that, and we'd have a ton of corrupted footage, and I wouldn't want to have to sit here talking to you for the entire episode. I really think that would be boring. But anyways, on to the actual video, where we magically finish the filling of the pond. Alright, and this is going to be the last of the dirt we place in right there. It used a ton of dirt. I had to go back for even more. But as you can see, I took a few extra stacks, so what we're going to do is we're going to extend the dirt even farther out to here. So that way we can connect a path up to our beautiful arrow building right here, our fletching building, our bow building, whatever you want to call it. We're going to build a path to it right now. And we can't really do that over the sand. I don't really think that would look too good, personally. But yeah, it is going to require a little bit more dirt. But we're not going to fill in this entire area. What I think we're going to do over time is we're going to, like, fill this out in sections. As we build stuff over here. Anyways, we can draw ourselves a little line right here in the sand and the sandstone as well. That'll pretty much mark where this dirt is supposed to end. So we'll basically cut out a shape right here. Right in the middle. I still gotta do it right here. I'm gonna get on that. We'll do a little something like that. And then most of that, except maybe over here, I might push this hill back a little bit more. Just because I don't want part of this building to touch the sand, I guess. But basically, these lines we're cutting right now in the ground, this is basically going to mark where the dirt ends. Which means we gotta get rid of everything within them in order to place in the dirt. Alright, and with all the dirt in, it looks a little bit barren over here, but that's because it's dirt, it's not grass yet. So what we're going to do is we're just going to till a lot of it, because we've got a little bit of grass right on over here, which can spread over there. We are going to extend the path, and it's going to feel a lot more complete. I'm going to put it in this direction too as well, because we're probably going to line up other buildings to the right and left of this right here. We'll have a little bit of a road going in that direction. That'll lead potentially outside of the base, actually. We'll have a little bit of a gate over there in the future. I'm not really sure how accurate these predictions are, because I'm not really in charge of future me. Who knows? Future me might have something completely different planned here. There we go. That's in place right now. We're going to keep the dirt here. We don't want to go all the way to the edge, because I need the grass to spread over here. And I really just like having the grass spread instead of just placing a grass block down in every single spot. I think it's like one of the most satisfying things you could do in this game. So yeah, so you get to watch the episodes, and as the episodes go on, so will the grass spreading. It's a very satisfying thing to see. Even the turtles approve of it, that I removed from their natural habitat right here. But trust me, they approve, okay? You can tell just by the expressions on their faces and how motionless they are outside of the water. Okay, I really need to get that out. Holy crap. Alright. Feeling a lot better now. But anyways, yeah, pretty nice. But anyways, now it's time for the actual placing of all the cobblestone that you clicked on this video for. Between this recording and the previous recording, I think I've decided on something new. Originally, I wanted to curve the thing right on over here, the big wall we're gonna build, all the way just right on over here, but I think we might have enough cobblestone to go all the way down to the other side of the beach, way down there. I almost said the other beach, but that's not really true, because this is one big beach. But basically, all the way from over there to over here, pretty much. That could be a little bit tough in some areas, though, because not all of this is terraformed. We got floating blocks of sand right here, and we got a boat here, too. I wonder how long this has been here, actually. I haven't touched this area in a very, very long time, so that could actually be quite a few minutes, to say the least. But anyways, what do we want to do next? First we gotta get the cobblestone, which is all at the outpost base across the sea right here. What I think we can do is we can run the wall just over this hill right here, terraform it on one side, and then have the rest of the wall be all the way just through here where it's all flat. We'll worry about all this terrain sometime in the future. Or off camera too. I might honestly just do a lot of the terraforming off camera, because nobody wants to watch me terraform for an hour and a half. Alright, let's go grab the goods and rest in the bed because it's dark out. What do we have here? We have a wandering trader. What do you have? You have acacia saplings, which are useless. Yeah, definitely not the same wandering trader we saw in the 1.21.5, or not 1.21.5. Yes, 1.21.5 actually. Holy crap, I am getting everything mixed up right now. My brain isn't working, as per usual. That was 1.25, but basically we took a look at new Wandering Trader trades, and these are just complete rubbish compared to those that we saw card above. But I'd still be lying to you if I were to tell you that those trades aren't useful in rare circumstances, let me tell you that. Welcome to the other storage facility we have. This is all the cobblestone I've mined up from the mine down below. And more above here too. We're gonna take a lot of this. We're gonna need this. I think this might actually be a little bit overkill. So I'm just gonna remove a few stacks, and then it's back across the ocean. Now we'll just take a little trip right through the woods to get started. We're gonna get the difficult part of this over with first. We're gonna start right over here, right in the ocean. We're gonna build up. We're gonna try to build it right over this hill right here, which is gonna be a little bit difficult. We're gonna do a little something like this to make sure you can't jump over it from the other side, although there might be some areas where you can, like right here for example, so I'll block that up. We just really want a wall that matches the terrain. Now right out here we have officially made it to the easy part. And with that, the wall is officially done, or at least most of it. What we're gonna do next, we're gonna put a whole bunch of slabs on top of this thing. But this is what we're looking at right here. I think it matches the terrain pretty well. Before this video ends, we are going to do a little bit of terraforming on the terrain on this side of it, to get it all completely flat and ready for future things we might do within these walls. Now it is truly complete with all the slabs in place right there. Now all we gotta do is a little bit of terraforming, specifically right over here. As you can see, there's a hill, and it's really thin. I think we could easily knock this thing down in this episode. That's all the slabs in place, and what those are going to do is it's going to prevent you from jumping over this thing. I think we're going to start like right over here and work our way towards the wall. So first we can start by removing all the sand. Efficiency 5 on the pickaxe will help us remove the sandstone very quickly. Look at all this, it's like melting. After we fill in this hole right here, which I'm guessing was caused by a creeper a very long time ago, we are gonna remove this last layer right here, and I think it should be done, except for this, which we'll use this remaining cobblestone to fill this in right here. As you can see, it doesn't look very good, so we're gonna fix that. You know, I was just thinking, imagine if we come across, like, buried treasure as we do this. We are digging in a beach biome, but to be fair, we aren't digging very deep. I do believe there actually is an old place where we found buried treasures somewhere around here. In fact, it might be, like, right on top of this hill, if I remember correctly. Or I might have already dug it up or something, and we'd probably never know it's there ever again. But I remember getting scammed by that spot multiple times in the early episodes of this series. Now we're going to get rid of this layer right here, and basically everything beneath the cobblestone needs to go. So that way the cobblestone will go down to this layer that we're standing on right now. There we go. This area is officially fixed, except for this one block right here. Now it's truly fixed, as you can see. This probably looks weird from a distance because you got the hill on the other side, and then you have this whole flat area. Look at that. Now we have a ton of sand. So what we're gonna do with it is we're actually gonna fill in some of the areas right here that are, you know, not on the same layer, kind of like this pond right here. And this other pond right here. Turtles are really running out of habitat with this one. I almost forgot we gotta terraform this little area right on over here too, because this isn't the same layer now, is it? I don't know what we're gonna be able to do about this cave right here. This is gonna take a lot of sand to fill in. Perhaps maybe we can do this someday, or maybe we could incorporate it into a build. It does look like I explored it. I do see a little bit of torchlight coming from over there. But yeah, as you can see, it's gonna require quite a few stacks of sand. It's a pretty big place right there. But other than that, this place is flattened. Look at that right on over there. That is crazy. Might actually have enough sand to flatten this cave right on over here, or maybe it's a cave. In the game's code, it most definitely is a cave, but it's kind of, you know, a little tad bit on the surface. But either way, it's not going to exist once I'm done with it right here. Okay, and it looks like we had just enough sand to do that right there. 19 to spare. Actually, no, we do have one more stack. So never mind. We're going to have even more after we're finished tweaking the wall right here. There is one more thing I think would be necessary in this episode, and that is a path, you know, out of here. Because if this wall is here, we pretty much just cut off our access. Or really comfortable access, because I don't want to break part of this wall every single time we got to go in that direction over there. This island is much bigger than I originally thought. In fact, the majority of the island is in that direction, beyond that forest over there. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to extend the grass all the way out to a point right out by the wall right here. And then we're going to put a gate, and that'll be the exit for now. It'll probably be like right in front of this hill, which is going to be a little bit inconvenient, so we're going to have to terraform this at some point. I guess that's what we're doing now. So we'll use this path right here. We are going along with Future Me's plans. I am Future Me. Big shocker. I want to straighten this path too. This feels a little bit weird now that the pond right here is gone. Look at how the grass has spread too. It's spread pretty quickly. Hopefully we have enough dirt to do this. I'm gonna see if I can get it like super narrow, but like not narrow enough where it's like literally just the grass path going across the sand. I would like a tad bit of dirt, at least like one block on either side of this, just so that way it doesn't look hideous even if it's unfinished. Alright, so we got a few stacks right on here. Hopefully it's enough. Maybe it's more than enough. I think it actually will be. So we can pretty much build it on either side until we run out. So that'll make it look better and better the more time we invest into this. Anyways, it's time to draw our lines. I think our first line is going to begin like right around here. That actually might be a little bit wide. So I am just going to put in the dirt right here, because obviously there is going to be grass here at some point. There's no point in breaking all this. But our actual line is going to start right around here. And then we're just going to bring it out all the way to the wall. And now it's time to repeat the process. And then dig right in the middle. It is actually a little bit wide here. I hope this is enough. We're probably going to need more dirt for this. I don't see why we wouldn't have more. I did check the barrels earlier in the episode. There was like a whole barrel. I believe it was actually like right over there behind that wall that had a lot of dirt in it, like several stacks. But this is going to require a lot of investment. As you can see, we're mining up a ton of sand too. Alright, now it's time to get to placing. Alright, so all of that dirt made a pretty fair bit of progress, I'll give it credit. There is still this little region right here that we gotta fill in, but I'm moderately impressed by that. Where is that barrel? That fabled barrel? I guess I was wrong about it being over here, but I guess who cares really? We got plenty right here. In theory, this should fill in that little area, but I've been wrong several times with this kind of stuff. This exact thing, actually. Well, luckily, this time, I was right, which is great. So this will spread right on over. As you can see, it's already spreading. Pretty nice. Now we'll just bring the path on over. And we gotta break the hole in the wall, too. We'll be right here. We'll make it 3 wide, so, you know, feels a little bit better right there. We'll break the 2 grass blocks right there. And there we go. One problem, though, and the grass has not been able to get over here. Obviously, it can't go across the grass path right there, so what I'll do is I'll make one small exception. we'll take a little grass block I just mined up and plunk that boy right there. Very nice. That should hopefully spread now. It's not going to spread very fast, but I think it'll be very satisfying to see that spread over time, as I stated earlier. And done. It looks very nice right here. It'll look even nicer when the grass spreads over, and it'll look the nicest when we spread the dirt out all around here. But that is going to require a ton of dirt. I mean, just look at this area right here. It's absolutely huge, but it's beautifully flat, and it's filled with potential. Potential for great builds we may put here. That is all I've got for you this episode. I'm a little bit exhausted now. That was a lot of dirt placing, so I think I'm going to go rest up. If you like this video, do the stuff I always say. Join my Discord. I need to start plugging that a little bit more. Oh, I almost forgot. We've had a little bit more growth in here. And we've actually had, enough, I believe, enough dripstone to actually finish this farm, but I'm going to get to that next episode. I'm just going to keep mining this up. But anyways, as I was saying, join my Discord. It's a pretty swell place. Yeah, we'll see what I post next, I guess. See you later.